was doing well. It was, you know, at the time I had maybe like 6,000 followers. By the time I told my mom I had 6,000 followers, I was like,
oh, that's amazing.
I had like 6,000. I was so excited.
No, that's awesome though. Welcome back to the Career Savage YouTube channel. Today I have a very special guest, but before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like, and share this video. Let's get into it. So, do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh, okay. My name is Kiitana, aka Kiitana, and I am a lifestyle influencer. So I run Kiitana.com, which is all things fashion, beauty, makeup, hair, all that kind of stuff. So,
well, I follow you, love your stuff, love everything that you're doing. Can you give us a little background about your transition from pre-med to social media life? Because I know you've talked about that on your website and then on your platforms in general.
Yeah, so I'm Nigerian, just to clear the air. And ever since I was 7, I've always thought I was gonna be a doctor. I think it's just part of the culture. You just, you either are gonna be a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer, pretty much. And that was what I grew up knowing. And I kind of was really good at math and science, and it just made sense. I had no other thing I enjoyed. So college, majored in biology. I was like, yeah. I did Health Professional Society. I did AHANA, which is, I can't remember what it's called, but something in the medical field. It wasn't until my junior year that I realized, oh wait, I don't know why I'm doing this. Like legitimately, it was time to apply for medical schools, and I was like, what am I writing my essay? That was the turning point for me, and I was like, okay, well I don't know, so the best thing is to just take a year off. I just didn't even apply that year. But the thing is, you still have to apply your senior year if you want to take only just 1 year off.
1 year off, It's true. The timeline's a bit weird with med school, it's a bit weird.
So then I was like, okay, 2 years, because I don't know. So my whole family at that point had moved from Milwaukee to Atlanta, Georgia. So I was like, you know what, we're moving to Atlanta and we're gonna figure it out there. So I get there, and around that time I started my blog, right? I mean, it was called Stop and Smell the Clothes, which is cringy to me right now, the most cringiest thing ever, and I really hope I have it deactivated.
It's not the best name, but
I mean, it wasn't the best, but I was like, yeah, you know. So my sister, I used to make my sister take my photos every day she got out of school. She was in high school at the time, and I was like, oh yeah, let's take photos. And my mom was just always looking at me. She would be looking out the window like, this girl is supposed to be studying for the MCAT, and she's just going outside and taking photos. And she never said anything, which I thought was interesting. I was so nervous. I was like, this woman's gonna just come on beat me. I just knew. But you know, she never said anything, and like I took another year. At this point, I even signed up for a Kaplan class, because I was like, I need some time to tell my mom. I just was so afraid because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I mean, I think it's different when you have other passions, you have things that you may be interested in. I was only taking photos because I almost didn't have anything else to do.
But your blog, that wasn't because you didn't have anything else to do.
When I started, I didn't have anything else I wanted to do.
And so it was interesting.
Yeah, it was the most interesting thing I was doing. I just knew I could be consistent at this, but I had no other plans. And I was still taking years off from medical school. So it wasn't like I was, it wasn't like I was done with medical school and I was pursuing another path. I was in a break, I was figuring it out. But I was really just taking photos on my blog. It was doing well. You know, at the time I had maybe like 6,000 followers. By the time I told my mom I had 6,000 followers, I was like,
oh, that's amazing.
I had like 6,000. I was so excited.
No, that's awesome though.
It was a thing, but I didn't know it was gonna be anything. But I knew that I didn't want to do med school. That was the main thing.
But when did you have that deciding point? I was like, all right, I'm just not gonna do this.
I mean, I was in denial since junior year of college.
Yeah.
Because at that point when I didn't know why, it was almost like, no, this isn't what you want to do. This is not your passion. You don't want to be miserable doing something you don't want to do just for the sake of, and I'm gonna say success, because that's kind of what your parents want.
They brainwash.
When they want you to be a doctor, when they want you to be a lawyer, success they want you to be. And I just knew that wasn't what I was going to be successful at. I just knew that I didn't want to do it. So it just took me 3 years to finally admit it to myself, and then admit it to my mom, and that was its own thing.
We're gonna get into that because I know from a cultural perspective it's very, very hard to have that conversation with your parents, but everything you said resonates with me because I feel like I sometimes am lying to myself because for the longest time I was like, I want to be a pediatrician, then I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I'm gonna be an oncologist, I don't want to do that. Then I was like, I don't know if I want to go to med school, I'm gonna go to farm school instead, because your parents make you believe that like the only way to be successful in life and have like stable success is if you have like a master's, doctorate at the very least. Even if you don't use it, go and get it. And my mom to this day is is always like, go and get,
Oh.
go ahead, go. And I'm like, yeah, just a year off, 2 years, 3 off. I've been out of school for so long. I graduated 2016, it's 2020, so I haven't, but
4 years off?
4 years off. 4 years off.
And counting.
4 years and counting. I think it's gonna be 4 years till eternity. Was not going to med school, was that like a difficult decision for you?
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, it wasn't that it was pushed on me to the point that I was like, oh, I hate this. I was fully thinking that I was gonna be a doctor since I was 7 years old until 20. So it was still also my dream. Granted, I didn't know that it wasn't my passion, but it was a dream that I had. I was gonna be like a pediatrician. Then it was like, I'm gonna be a non-cosmetic plastic surgeon. That was like the last thing until it was
funny, I wanted to do plastic surgery.
and then it was like, and then it turned into whatever. So I mean, it just got to a point where I just had to let it go. And it was tough. It was tough. And that's why I lied to myself. Look, and that's the worst kind of lie, because you think that you're taking those years off and you're not. You're literally not. It's
complete deceit.
It was so. I mean, it was hard, but once I did it, I felt free. Now,
of course.
The only thing is, I didn't know what I wanted to do after, and I think for anyone who wants to embark on that non-professional degree journey, I would probably advise them to figure out what you want to do.
Perfect segue.
Before you just let it go completely, because
so the next question I want to ask is, because most people who follow the Kyyah Abdul platform are Generation Z and Millennials, we struggle so hard with deciding what we want to do, and I think that's because everyone's like, what's my passion? If it's not my passion, I don't want to do it, I don't want to try it, I want this. And I know that we've had other conversations outside of this where you've said you've tried so many different jobs, and then you were like, you know what, I'm going to go into this. So for Millennials and Generation Z, what advice would you give them for their career? What should they do?
I mean, I figured out, I think, the hard way, and I think it's because I was so pigeonholed into one thing that I never had any other interests. It was like, oh, I'm good at math and science, we do all the math and science things. I was like in the math club. Like, I think diversify your interests in the beginning, just in case you take a class in college that changes your whole
perspective.
I took a African and African American music class my senior year, and if I had taken that freshman year or sophomore year, I probably would have majored in something regarding that, because I loved my teacher and I loved the material, and I just felt there was another path that I could have taken that I didn't know. So I would actually sit up studying, and I didn't do that for any of my science classes. I would just, I mean, do what I do to get by. So one advice would definitely be to diversify your interests. Just try different things. If you graduate a degree that you don't know what to do with it, I found out that I could have gone into consulting with my biology degree. I could have done so many other things that they don't tell you. I fully was like,
they don't tell you.
I'm not a med school degree, useless.
That's what they tell you.
That's what I thought. And so look into other things you can do with just a bachelor's degree in almost anything, because even if you didn't think you wanted to go to med school and you took art, you could go to med school. And so it's like, there's so many options for you as someone who comes out of even high school. If you really just try and like reach out to people who are in the field that you may want to get into, and I mean, some people may respond, some people may not, but it's worth a try. Take internships, unpaid, unfortunately. The easiest way to get into an industry that you have no experience in whatsoever is unpaid internships. I think, or literally reach out to people and be like, listen, I would do all of this stuff for free. And I mean, most people aren't going to turn down free work, but you get major experience in the industry, and I mean, I don't see why not.
Thank you for watching part 1 of the Career Savage interview with Kiitana. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications for part 2 coming next Tuesday. Bye guys.